The XFM Residency with Brian Molko.
Greetings and salutations. You're listening to XFM with Brian Molko from Placebo, taking over the Residency, where I'll be playing some of my favorite tracks by current and contemporary bands, and also some Placebo rarities. Let's kick the whole thing off with some Placebo tonight. From our new album, Battle for the Sun, this is a track called Julien.
The payback is here. Take a look. It's all around you. You thought you'd never shed a tear, so this must astound and must confound you. Buy a ticket for the train, hide in a suitcase if you have to. This ain't no singing in the rain. This is a twister that would destroy you. You can run, but you can't hide, because no one here gets out alive.
Brian Molko on XFM Residency. You just heard an oldie but goldie. It was Happy House by Siouxsie and the Banshees. Alright, coming up, I've got a track by one of my favorite new bands. Well, are they a new band? I guess so. They're kind of a supergroup comprising of the bass player from the Raconteurs and the guitarist from Queens of the Stone Age, Alison Mosshart from the Kills, and Jack White from the White Stripes, the Raconteurs. And I mean, how many bands does Jack White actually have to be in at the same time? And how many songs does this guy actually write? He's far too prolific for my taste. He's making me very, very jealous. Now, I had the pleasure of singing with Alison myself on Meds, and I can understand why he decided to do a whole record with her. Whorehound is the name of the album. The name of the band is The Dead Weather, and this tune is called I Cut Like a Buffalo.
This is XFM.
The XFM Residency with Brian Molko.
Brian Molko on XFM, taking over the Residency. You just heard my favorite band of all time. Without this band, I don't think my band would exist. I remember discovering them when I was 16, and in fact, the first song that I ever heard by Sonic Youth was the one that you've just listened to, Kool Thing. Guesting, well, another one of my favorite singers, which is Chuck D from Public Enemy. Okay, we're going to take a little break for some words from our sponsor. But don't go anywhere, because if you come back, I'm going to play you some more rare Placebo tunes and some tunes from Unkle.
This is XFM.
The XFM Residency with Brian Molko.
Welcome back, Brian Molko from Placebo, taking over the XFM Residency this Sunday for the last week of the month. And I'm going to play a song by my band now. This is a song called I Know, which was originally recorded on our very first album, but which we re-recorded in 2008 to be the theme tune to a Mexican film called Vice Versa. We hope that you appreciate what we consider to be the improvements that we've brought to this track, but I'm sure some of you will prefer the original, but now you have to. Anyway, this is I Know by Placebo, 2008 version.
Love this song, but not the singer.
Brian Molko taking over the XFM Residency. You just heard some Placebo with the 2008 version of I Know. Now we've reached the section of the show which I like to call Guilty Pleasures. We all have them. Now the first band that I ever completely fell in love with when I was about 7 was a band from the US called Kiss. I was particularly taken with the way that Gene Simmons used to spit up blood on stage. To my son, a 7-year-old mind, that was just absolutely wonderfully theatrical and very attractive. What Gene Simmons has become, well, let's not think about that too much. But people said in the old days that Kiss...
This is XFM.
The XFM Residency with Brian Molko.
Brian Molko on the XFM Residency. You just heard The Hours with Ali in the Jungle. And coming up, we have my favorite songstress of all time from her very first album called Dry. It's PJ Harvey with Sheela-Na-Gig.
This is XFM.
The XFM Residency with Brian Molko.
Brian Molko on XFM playing you a classic by Depeche Mode from the Music for the Masses album. That was Never Let Me Down. Okay, we've got to have a couple of words from our sponsors now, but don't go flipping, because coming up I have some Unkle for you, and I also have some Cure. Brian Molko on XFM. Brian Molko on XFM, coming to the very end of the last section of my last week doing the XFM Residency. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that you've enjoyed my choice cuts. You just heard The Cure with The End of the World, and before that, Burn My Shadow by Unkle. And I'm going to leave you with one last Placebo tune before I go home. This is from our new album, Battle for the Sun, and it's called Happy You're Gone. Thanks, everyone. Peace and love.
Breathe me